Hey guys, Florida Shooter 92 here. I'm here with Brad. Today we're going to be touching on something just a little bit more serious. We're going to be talking about the shooting that happened and occurred just a couple days ago, just a couple miles away in Parkland, where 17 kids lost their life. I'm sorry, I believe it was 14 kids lost their life and 3 adults. Um, it's a tragedy, and something like that should never happen. And my YouTube video is Florida Shooter 92, and so I just figured it was a topic worth mentioning and talking about. And so I know Brad has some things he wants to say about it as well, but just want to say that my heart and condolences go out to the families and everybody that was affected by the shooting, including those with connected to the shooter himself. It's a tragedy for everyone. A young man's life, a disgruntled young man's life is completely ruined, and 17 lives are lost, and countless of lives have been affected by these actions. So that being said, Brad, if you want
I know it's probably gonna end up, bouncing off of each other. But that Parkland school. If you guys haven't known by previous videos, I come up here and I do these videos with him from Broward County, which is where it occurred. The school is about 12 minutes driving distance from where I was from, or where not where I'm from, but where I live. And there's first and foremost, I like to give my sincere or shit sincerest condolences for the families that were affected, everybody at the school, everybody in the school system, all the kids nationwide that feel like they're not safe even inside of a school. We're not gonna touch on politics here because I feel like when you're given this type of video, there's no reason to bring in one side or the other. Um, just the fact is, it's a serious loss for everybody. And the fact that kids don't feel safe going to high school or going to middle school, even or even elementary school. With what happened at Sandy Hook. Uh, the fact that they can't feel safe going to school and getting a higher education is just a sad time to be alive. With me and him, we were in school when the Columbine shooting happened in Colorado, and I know we were kind of young and really didn't know about it. There wasn't as much media attention, or at least social media attention, readily available access to us about the shooting. But that actually happened close home to you at the
Yeah,
time.
I'm from Colorado, and when that happened, I was living in Colorado Springs, and it was about 80 miles away from where we lived there. So
Yeah, and the fact that we do gun reviews, and the fact that our lives are heavily influenced around guns and protecting ourselves. I just want everybody to know that it is strictly for self-defense purposes. There should be no reason to carry out any type of an assault by anybody for any means, whether depression or any other psychological problems, to shoot up a school, shoot up anything. You know, the reason we make these gun reviews is so people have the proper information to know what to do if they're faced in a bad predicament. With whatever gun they're handed to them.
this morning, actually, I heard my pastor talking about the subject, and he brought up that people come up to him and ask, why does this happen? Why do bad things happen to good people? Why do kids get shot in schools? That kind of stuff. And how could God let this happen? And without getting too religious or anything, just it's everybody has their free will and everybody has their own choices they can make. And if your choices veer away from God, you're going to suffer ungodly consequences. Um, and this is a choice that the kid made, and hopefully there is good that can come out of the bad situation, because that ultimately is the only thing that we can hope for at this point.
You know, and the thing is this is a tragedy, just like every other single one is a tragedy. And, you know, I hope it gets addressed in the right way. Already, I've seen one side do this, one side say this, and you know, it sucks having to hear one side versus the other side versus this side when nothing's being done for the situation. Uh,
It wasn't Democrats that were killed. It wasn't Republicans that were killed. It was just people that were killed. That's what we should be worrying about, not Democrats and Republicans and parties and politicians and all sorts of different politics that get brought into these kind of situations. But just how do we stop the loss of innocent life?
you know, I feel like at least when I was going to high school, you know, the worst I had to worry about was,
Me punching you?
well, you know, we didn't go to the same school, so
You're lucky.
I'm sure I was. You know, because you could do some damage with those fists. I felt them once. Uh, wasn't much to brag home about. But fact is I never once would have thought about something like this
Yeah,
happening.
no,
I
never
never
thought
went to
about it.
school thinking, just or even just in case, what if this happens? What am I going to do? I've never thought about that. Most of the time, I thought about how am I going to go to both lunches at one time.
How can I
You
skip
know.
this class and get away with it?
Yeah, and you know, it's just the fact that these kids went to school that day and had no idea what was going to happen, and the fact that 17 people are not here because of such a senseless action by a man, because he's not a child, he's 19 years old. No matter what, I don't I'm sorry, I don't think that there's any reason, logical, or any way to justify an action as much as taking a human life for no reason whatsoever. Which brings me back to the fact that our videos are for entertainment, especially while I'm here, but also informative. And the one thing we want everybody to know with these videos is that everything is strictly to know how to properly handle a gun if given a situation in where you have to defend yourself.
Correct.
That's why all pretty much actually I think all your videos so far are on pistols.
Yep, I haven't touched on any AR, shotguns, rifles, anything like that.
Exactly, because these are your daily drivers. These are what you know will bring with you, yeah, or not, but to a grocery store or you know going to this place or that place just in case something erroneous happens to where you have to defend yourself and there's no other way to get out of a situation, you know. And this is only to be used if your life is threatened. If your life is threatened, there's no reason to discharge a firearm anywhere except at a range or at a localized place.
Yeah, you want to go shooting for fun. That's always okay.
Yeah.
You know, go shoot for fun. I do it. He does it. We all
exactly.
do that. But the only reason that you should pull a gun out for anything other than shooting at a range is to defend yourself and defend your life or the lives around you. And if you know, because I've had the question asked, and I've never had to pull a gun, you know, so I can't tell you from firsthand experience. But I've had people ask me, well, when do you know the right time? You know, if somebody's doing this, somebody's doing that, or whatever. And I always say the same thing is, if you got to think about it, it's not the right time. You know, if you got to think about should I pull my gun, it's not the right time to pull it, because if the situation is going to happen, you're not gonna think about it. You're gonna grab it and you're gonna shoot. If you got to think about using it, you're using it wrong. You're not doing the right thing with it.
And I'm going to pretty much end this video unless he has something else to say, with the fact of we have our own opinions on gun control. We have our own opinions on what happened. We're not going to share them today because that's not the point of this video or even the time for this type of video. We're here to strictly let you know what this channel's about, which is the knowledge of weapons so you can protect yourself in self-defense, and also the fact that it's just sad that we have to make this video.
Yeah, it is sad that we have to make this video.
Because even though I don't know anybody personally, even though it happened right around the corner from where I live, down in Broward County, is that 17 people are dead and the families and countless other people are affected, friends, classmates.
Not to mention all the people who were shot that didn't die but are in the hospital getting treated and all that.
Yeah, so that video's for them, and that's pretty much it. I can't fathom anything like this happening to my spouse or
Kids
my children
or
or anybody, and you know, I'm a little bit scared myself if I was to have a kid, which will probably never happen.
Well, I've got a kid coming, and
yeah, exactly, and bring him up into a system like that, you know, I hope things change for the better, and these actions aren't such a repeated thing in society.
You know, I gotta say, and I can say this with pretty much 100% confirmation that nobody doesn't matter if you're Republican or if you're Democrat, if you're pro-gun, if you're not pro-gun. You know, yeah, I don't think that it even matters at this point what you believe in. Everybody's just tired of this. You know,
it needs to end, and hopefully people can find a way to make it end.
Yeah.
So other than that's pretty much what we have to say. What do you say? Florida Shooter 92 out, something like that.
Yep. Just, you know, all the other good stuff. You guys know. So that being said, our hearts are with all the families that were affected, and you know, hopefully there can be some sort of peace and closure. So.
And all this rambling just because there's really nothing right or wrong to say. It's just completely unnecessary. So that's why I think that's why the rambling's kind of going on. Anyway, so good night,
Until
everybody.
next time.
Yep.